Winter is coming, and with it, humanity's coldest terror, the White Walkers. Against their weapons of ice, ordinary steel screams and shatters upon impact. But in the lands of Westeros, there exists a single metal capable of piercing that desperate ice and cutting their flesh. It is lighter than ordinary steel, yet incomparably stronger a dream weapon whose edge never dulls, even after centuries. With its dark, smoky hue and strange, beautiful ripples reminiscent of Damascus steel, this metal is known as Valyrian Steel. These swords are not mere weapons. Across the entirety of the Seven Kingdoms, there are perhaps a mere 200 left in existence items of extreme rarity. The immensely wealthy Tywin Lannister once offered a fortune to buy the swords of impoverished houses, but they would sooner sell their daughters into slavery than part with their ancestral blades. So, how were these magnificent weapons forged? Tragically, the perfect recipe for creating this steel was lost forever to history some 400 years ago, consumed in the cataclysm known as the Doom of Valyria. Let us travel back in time, until its destruction some 400 years ago. Ancient Valyria was an overwhelming empire, built upon a massive volcanic chain known as the 14 Flames. According to the lore penned by George R.R. Martin, Valyrian Steel was not born from the simple hammer blows of a blacksmith. It is a synthesis of iron, fire, and magic. To forge these swords, one required not only the furnaces deep within the volcanoes, but a terrifying heat that ordinary fire could never achieve. That is, Dragonfire. As the smiths folded and hammered the iron thousands of times under the intense heat of dragons, the sorcerers of ancient Valyria chanted powerful spells, purging the metal of impurities and infusing it with unnatural strength. The thousands of folds, when married with magic, created those distinct, beautiful, rippling patterns we recognize today. The fact that the Mesters of the Citadel award a link of Valyrian Steel only to the rare few who study the higher mysteries magic proves that the very essence of this metal is magic itself. But can dragons and spells alone truly explain this overwhelming strength and an edge that never dulls? Among the hardcore fans of A Song of Ice and Fire, there is one highly supported, incredibly dark, and horrifying theory. That is blood magic human sacrifice. All Valyrian magic is fundamentally rooted in fire and blood. The Valyrian Freehold, in particular, was a cruel empire that utilized hundreds of thousands of slaves, captured through endless wars, as disposable labor in their volcanic mines. Do you recall the legend of the hero Azor Ahai? To forge his ultimate weapon, Lightbringer, he plunged the sword into the living heart of his beloved wife, Nissa, tempering the steel with her blood and soul. Fans theorize that during the final tempering process of Valyrian Steel, instead of using water or oil to cool the hammered metal, they used the blood of slaves. Beneath the creation of these eternally sharp masterpieces lies the red sacrifice of countless souls, their hearts pierced by the boiling metal. If this theory holds true, the dark, smoky hue of Valyrian Steel might just be the color of coagulated blood. Following the cataclysmic doom of Valyria, the dragons and the horrifying secrets of blood magic were all reduced to ash. Today, new Valyrian Steel cannot be brought into the world. Only a handful of master smiths in the free city of Qohor, on the continent of Essos, barely maintain the knowledge to melt down existing Valyrian Steel at thousands of degrees and reforge it into new shapes. Following the execution of Ned Stark, his ancestral greatsword, ice was melted down and divided to create two new blades for House Lannister, Widow's Wail and Oathkeeper. This is a prime example of that lost art. Records suggest that in their desperate attempts to recreate the lost original technique, the smiths of Qohor even secretly attempted horrific blood magic, sacrificing infants, but ultimately, all such efforts ended in failure. Tempered thousands of times, kissed by Dragonfire, and perhaps harboring the horrifying blood of the sacrificed. Valyrian Steel is the greatest legacy of an ancient empire. Those who ruled the Seven Kingdoms coveted these weapons of fire, never knowing that they would become humanity's last hope to shatter the army of ice marching from beyond the wall. But why did this magnificent, magical empire of Valyria vanish without a trace overnight? To uncover the price they paid for their arrogance, Join us next time for the Doom of Valyria, the hidden truth